Welcome to day 13 of the Negativity Fast Positivity Feast. Today we're going to talk about overcoming word curses. Did you know that when we don't say what God says, when we say something negative and what's not truth, then we're actually cursing ourselves. And if we say that over others, we're actually cursing others. That's food for thought. Today I want to share with you a couple of stories out of the Bible, one out of the New Testament and one out of the Old, that is an example of what we're talking about. One of these is in Luke, in the New Testament, Luke chapter 1, and I'm going to read a little bit of this to you. This is out of the New Living Translation, Luke 1, starting with verse 8. It said, one day, Zechariah was serving God in the temple. For his order was on duty that week. As was the custom of the priest, he was chosen by lot to enter the sanctuary of the Lord and burn incense. While the incense was being burned, a great crowd stood outside praying. While Zechariah was in the sanctuary, an angel of the Lord appeared to him, standing to the right of the incense altar. Wow. Zechariah was shaken. I would have been too, and overwhelmed with fear when he saw him. But the angel said, "Don't be afraid, Zechariah. God has heard your prayer. Your wife Elizabeth will give you a son, and you are to name him John." Now, Zechariah and his wife Elizabeth were well up in years, and these are the parents of John the Baptist. Zechariah said to the angel, "How can I be sure this will happen? I'm an old man now, and my wife is well along in years." Then the angel said, "I am Gabriel. I stand in the very presence of God. It was he who sent me to bring you this good news. But now, since you didn't believe what I said, you will be silent and unable to speak until the child is born. For my words will certainly be fulfilled at the proper time." Wow. What do you think was the reason why God made him silent? It's like Zechariah had asked the angel about the feasibility of him and Elizabeth having a child at their age. But the angel must have detected something in his questioning, and so God's solution to this was for Zacharias to be silenced during the pregnancy. He didn't want him saying something out of his mouth that might hinder the prophetic word. Now, there's another place in Scripture that talks about having to be silent, and that was when the children of Israel, Moses had died. They were beginning to enter the Promised Land, and their first piece of territory to apprehend was Jericho, the walled city of Jericho. And so God told Joshua to tell the people to be silent, to not say a word. They were to walk around the city in silence. Not talking was allowed until the seventh day, when they were to raise a shout and the walls would come down. And if you've read the story, you know the walls did come down. Pretty miraculous story. I propose that Joshua was remembering that 40 years prior to this, that 10 out of the 12 spies gave a bad report when they had spied out the land. You remember we talked about that, I think it was yesterday in Numbers 13. Joshua wasn't going to risk having word curses spoken that might hinder or stop God's promises from being fulfilled. Did you actually know we could do that? Yes, we can. And I don't know about you, but I don't want that to happen to me. I want to partner with God in what he's doing. You know, it says in the book of James, in chapter 3, verse 9, it says that talks about the tongue, and that the tongue, with it we curse men. And it's like, this is so true. We do. But Jesus, there's good news, because Jesus came to redeem us from the curse. But we must receive this deliverance and blessing that he has provided. It is a choice. We get to choose. Many people, even Christians, unknowingly live under the shadows of word curses spoken either by themselves or someone else. We hinder our lives through our own curses when we are making statements such as, I'm dumb, I can't do that, I'm accident prone, this will never change. Do you see how easy it is? Yeah. Have you ever said some of those? I know I have. When we say things like this, we just don't understand how powerful we are and how powerful our words are. Let's not be careless with our speech, but be intentional in what we say. The good news is, it is not too late to overcome past word curses and begin to create life with our words. I'm on board for that. Yeah, are you? So, today's lie that we're fasting is, my circumstances will never change. God's promises will never come to pass in my life. I really hope that you don't believe that, but if you do, you are believing a lie. And this is today's truth that we're feasting on. Great things are happening in every area of my life. God's promises will come to pass. Actually, I added to that. So the truth we're feasting on today is, great things are happening in every area of my life. That's a great declaration to make, and it will change your mindset and your perspective of how you look at things. Okay, so let's apply this today. Doing this negativity fast does not mean we live in denial and never discuss difficulties. That is not what I'm saying at all. We all face difficult times, and I'm not asking you to be in denial. It's okay to state the facts, as long as it does not become a belief system. You get it? We choose not to speak out negative, unbelieving conclusions about situations in our life. We get to choose. Let's choose not to speak negative, unbelieving conclusions about situations in our life. Are there some areas in your life where you're tempted to speak out negative conclusions? I know I do, still sometimes. Let's remind ourselves, if we cannot say something good, then we need a new perspective before saying anything. Remember, life is in the power of the tongue. So, may our words create blessings and not curses. I bless you with eyes to see, ears to hear, and a heart to know truth. Until tomorrow, have a great day. Bye.